Alright, what if Roblox and Ultra Kill had a baby? So I've been playing this game for a week and I already love it. Not just because it's good, I mean, it is good, but because because I finally found a game that isn't a simulator, strongest battlegrounds clone, or straight up just blocks fruits. It's just nice to have a breath of fresh air after finally seeing a good and original game. Now, I really want to overwhelm you guys with information about this game, but you guys aren't my friends, so let's start from the beginning. You spawn into the game and you see a leaderboard in front of you. Walk towards it and find out that you can join servers. After you join one, you get teleported to a gray box. But wait a few seconds and you see that you're in an elevator. After a few seconds, you gotta choose your weapon. You get to choose two weapons. Both of them can be primary or both could be secondary. You don't have to choose one primary and one secondary. I'll be explaining all the weapons. First weapon, sword. The sword is really good. The sword is a really good starter weapon for people. It can parry attacks, synergize with other weapons. For example, if you throw a super ball in the air and whack it with your sword, the ball will go flying. It's just straightforward. I don't think it's a good use for that. Another good synergy, bro, I sound like a fucking nerd. Another synergy is if you point your sword to the ground and then you point your sword to the ground and start swinging, if you time it perfectly, you can start pogo jumping. My highest streak is 4 because it's kind of hard to get the timing. Number 2, the paintball gun. This weapon has a soft spot in my heart, as it was the first weapon I chose, and I played it a lot, and also because back then the old Roblox days, I used to play those old paintball games, which were really fucking hard. It's good for taking enemies from afar. It also synergizes with weapons like a time bomb. If you place the time bomb down and shoot it with a paintball gun, it will automatically explode instead of waiting. Number 3 is slingshot. This weapon is good for enemies in medium distance. You can't really shoot for it and doesn't do that much damage. Seems like a pretty bad weapon. After you get some upgrades on this thing, this is actually a pretty overpowered weapon and might be one of the best in the game, or second best. By the way, if you press Q, you shoot a little pellet in the air, which can be reflected with a sword, or the paintball gun, but the paintball gun takes way more precision. Super Ball, one of my favorite weapons in the game. Hitting an enemy will send them flying with a satisfying sound. As I mentioned it already, it has synergies with the sword and the paintball gun. If you get certain upgrades for this weapon, it becomes one of the most fun weapons in the game. Rocket Launcher, an amazing weapon that is good for clearing up crowds and dealing with enemies that have high amounts of HP. Really good for early game, if you're being chased by a horde of noobs. It also has great mobility with its rocket jump, giving you great vertical distance. Its upgrades are also good too. Honestly, not too much to say as it's a solid weapon overall, except for its cooldown. It's slow as shit. Time Bomb, great for clearing out crowds. Just like Rocket Launcher, synergizes well with this sword, and is really good paired up with the paintball gun. And just like the Rocket Launcher, you can bomb jump. Wait, is that a Super Doom Spiral reference I see? Trowel, an amazing defensive tool as it blocks all shots coming. As it blocks all shots coming towards you. You can place multiple of them. It also has a good offensive capabilities, as you can suffocate enemies if you place a wall inside them. Now after you pick your weapon, it's time to fight at the most easy stage in the game, with only 3 different enemy types that can be easily defeated. Killing enemies will give you this ranking on the right. Really gets my dopamine going. Oh, you're getting chased by a bunch of enemies? All you have to do is press E to dash away. If you want even more mobility, try dashing and then jumping. This will give you a huge boost. The shop will contain all weapons in the game and will also include upgrades for the weapons you already have. Now, I'm not the most hardworking person, so I'm not gonna explain all the upgrades, but I will explain all of them in one word. Fire, fast, gun, shotgun, damage, satisfying, broken, shotgun, fast, and all of these upgrades cost the currency that you get every few waves. Wait, does that sound... This is Jason, the first boss you will encounter in your run. To new players, he's pretty challenging, as he has moves that lunges towards you and requires you to dash out of the way. After defeating him, you get another shop, and after the shop's over, get to the ranking area. You get a ranking depending how well you did on the level, with how much score you get from the rank, how much score you get from killing enemies, how much deaths, and how long time it took you to finish the level. And after you get those rankings, you'll be moving on to the next stage. This place is pretty hard as there are a lot of ranged enemies, like these guys who shoot in bursts, or these guys who rapidly shoot in a straight line, and if you're not careful you can get caught off guard. But that's not the only thing. There will be giants. These guys are scary as they deal a decent amount of damage and have insane range, but they can be easily avoided by jumping or dashing away. Note that they can jump towards you. If you luckily survive all of that, then you will meet Captain is the second boss of the game. He uses a lot of long-ranged attacks. He also keeps his distance from you, making sure you can't catch up to him. Using ranged weapons are harder since you move around rapidly, or my answer sucks. He will spawn barrels that explode if you try to touch them. A really good counter to him is using the katana, which is really good for parrying bullets as it swings really fast. Anyways, after defeating him, you'll go to the next area. This place is filled to the brim with dangerous enemies. You have the fucking annoying ass shooters and giants from the Chaos Cannon, the additional cannon? Gas cannon. Yeah, with the additional tanks and drones. These enemies will constantly shoot airstrikes towards you, and they are decently easy to dodge, but you can still fuck up if you don't react fast enough. Now after the grueling battle, you get an extra shop, which can make you buy an extra upgrade. At this point of the game, you should at least have 2 upgraded weapons and an extra secondary weapon. Now after that, it's for the final boss in the game. Vagabond is his final boss of combat initiation. He has a lot of attacks similar to Jason, charging towards you with his sword and swinging at you. But he also has jumping moves like Captain, usually jumping in the air and coming back down with his attacks. He's a pretty hard boss if you don't recognize his attack patterns. Even with multiple people, he can easily jump and dodge out of the way to avoid players from swarming him, just like how Jason dies. For a new player, you'll probably die once or twice, just like me. But if you have teammates around, you can pretty easily clap his ass. Now after the intense fighting, you finally win, and they're greeted with a rank just like the other maps. That's it. It's not the longest game, but it has a lot of things going for it. Honestly, a really amazing game. It's still in development, as they're gonna add a 4th level and 5th and 6th, I think. So apparently I forgot to talk about gears. Not that important. Treat them as extra items that are either passive or active, like the grappling hook, which can make you grapple onto objects, or the rocket boots, which can make you fly, or the regen coil, giving you extra HP. The soundtrack also sounds amazing, as I'm using this for my video right now. The animations are amazing. I just wish they added some more enemy variety. I mean, there's a lot of enemies already, and the game is still in development, so I think they're gonna add more enemies in the future.